All right, let's talk about how to put these frames together. So we've cut this nice little piece out, and this is our top bar, and this is our grooved bottom bar that we have, and our two sides. We're going to try to attach these together. I want to show you something before we start. When I put the top bar on, I want you to notice something. There's actually quite a lot of play here when you put these together. And if you don't have them square, they're angled in some part. So some are angled this way and some are angled this way. The bees are going to fill all those angles up, and you'll have wax in between. It'll be a big mess. So you want these things as square as possible. So you want one of these square tools, and when you put these pieces in, you want to make sure that everything lines up in its square. It's a rectangle, so if this side is square, the other side should be square too. Oops, I moved it. So that's square. If I can try to get back over here without moving it. That's square too. So one of the two sides need to be square. Now, unlike using this plastic thing that was very rigid, we're going to use the wax foundation, and you see there's metal in here to help keep this thing strong when you spin it. I also recommend very strongly that in addition to these vertical wires going up and down, there's these little holes on the side. I'll take this off so you can see it. And it's really good, and I think I saw you guys already have some. I take this wire and you put it through one hole, down the other, and out the bottom. And then you have horizontal strength as well as vertical. If you don't, you run the chance that when you are spinning this out to get your honey, that it'll fall apart. So if I'm putting all this energy in, I would like to have them as strong as possible. Now, this wood happens to be fairly soft, and so if you put the wire in and pull it tight, it could actually cut into this wood. Not necessarily. One of the things you can think about doing, let me get this wax foundation out of the way here, is get these things called grommets. They're little pieces of metal. We'll pull a few out. And what the grommets do, I got more than I need, you put them in the hole and they prevent the wire from ripping into the wood. They're pretty easy to put in. I'll put in, you've got a little tool usually that comes with it so that you can try to get it in the hole. You can also just put it in by hand. Let's see, it wants to stick to this tool. I need to oil the tool up. Again, you can put it in by hand. And then after you get it there, another thing you want is actually not a big hammer, but a small hammer. Really helps for things like this. And then just pound it in. We'll put another one in here. See if it'll come off my tool. No, it doesn't want to come off my tool. I think my tool needs some oil on it so these don't come off. But anyway, you put it over the hole. Once you get it lined up and straight. Oops. Use my tool to straighten it. But don't stay on the tool. Haven't done this in a while. It is really not as hard as this. I do thousands of these. I don't know why I'm having such a problem with this. Anyway, eventually I'll get it there. There we go. And there's one. Let's do another. Let's see if we can get this easier this time. Sometimes when they drill the holes, it's better on one side than another. It's kind of hard to tell this. I don't know why. Maybe I'll just pound it in like this. And then, there you go. That's what I'm supposed to do. There we go. So we got 2 of those on there. Alright. So we'll put these back in here so I don't spill them all over. Let's talk about the nails too. Nail guns are great. You just have to be very careful. So eventually we're going to take this piece and nail it on here. So I've got some nails. Is this nail appropriate for that? Well, if you put it down, you see it sticks up that much. So when you pound it down, it's going to be sticking out of this board. That's sharp. You can get cut on it. It's also when you clean this off with your hive tool, it gets in the way. You don't want any nails sticking out of here, not even a little bit. So this nail is not appropriate for there. I have smaller nails here, and you might have to go to the hardware store to get them. Again, nail guns are great, but if the nails are too big, you're going to have a problem. So see how small that nail is? Now, often when I'm trying to put that nail on, it's hard for me to grab it with my big fat fingers. So I can grab it with a little pair of pliers there, so that when I nail it down, first of all, I can get it there and my hands are out of the way. I'll show you how to do that in the next video. Alright, so when we put this thing together, I put one together, it should look something like this. So you've got this on the bottom, we've got our grommets on the ends, and the top bar's down. I put a nail on each end, and I put a nail down there. You put 2 nails or whatever you think is want, but you don't want to split the wood, and you don't want nails so long that it's going to come out the side. Again, nails out the side is a real problem. I personally like glue. I saw you guys got this. This is the best stuff for wood glue. This was in the garage, so it's cold. That's probably not the best thing, so I'm going to have to put it on a little different here. But anyway, this is what we would like to try to do. The other thing, we talked about it being square, so this is still drying, and hopefully when we come up here and take a look at this, it's nice and square. All right. By the way, if in the video I say straight when I really mean square, I'm just misspeaking. Alright, so let's go through this. So we want to put one of these on. We got the grommets in. We're all good. We're going to stick that right in there. So because this is a little cold, I just grab a little stick here. And you really don't want to overdo the glue. So I'll put glue here, rub it on a little bit, and on the sides here too. Go in. You see, I'm not putting a lot, just enough to get it all coated. Let me put this down here, make a mess. And then we're going to stick this in here. Push it down. You'll see there's a little bit of glue that slips out on the sides here, and we're going to wipe that off. So it's good to have a little paper towel, and the sooner you wipe that off, the better. Keep it all nice and clean. Great. And we'll take our little square here and make sure that it's square. So I'll push it up against there to make sure it's nice and square. Now I'm going to try to do the same on the other side. And again, make sure your grommets are on the outside. On the inside, it doesn't really make help. They have to be on the outside here. So again, take a little bit of glue, not a lot. Matter of fact, even if yours isn't frozen like mine, you can use a little toothpick or some small piece of wood or something to put glue on like this. It seems to be a lot easier than try to squeeze it out of the bottle. Alright, so we put that on. Again, grommets on the outside. We'll push this down in. We'll take a little square and try to get this as square as we can get it. Alright, now it might move a little bit because we have put nails in it. So we've got an opportunity to make sure that it is square still. So I'm going to turn this upside down. Again, this is where a jig is nice. if you have a jig, you can have something you put it in that holds it on each side. You can make a jig, so you can have a piece of wood like this, and then 2 flat pieces of wood on each side, and when you pull it in, you know that it's square. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to try these nails. They seem to be appropriate for this. So try to get it in the middle. Again, I think you guys have a nail gun, so as long as you get it straight with your nail gun, you're going to do wonderful. I could probably use a bigger hammer on these nails. So it's not poking out on each side. Again, I might just test this and see how square this thing is. Yeah, try to get it as square as I can. And then we'll do the other side as well. So when you get the nail in, you can still, if it's not completely square, you can kind of fix it by bending it a little. And the glue will help it stay there, which is why I like the glue. By the way, if you're pounding and you wind up bending the nail, don't just keep pounding it in. Grab a piece of pliers like this, grab the end of the nail, squeeze it, and twist it. Pull it out and put another one in, because you don't want them sticking out the side. Alright, so we got those 2. Great. Now we can put the top on. Again, measure twice, cut once. That's looking pretty good. Alright, so we now take our glue and we want to put it again on the bottom and the sides, and we're going to put the other one on, so we got to put the glue on here also on the other side. Need a little more glue. Yeah, when you work with wood glue, more is not necessarily better. It'll also dry quicker if you have not too little, but just the right amount of glue on there. Alright, so we take this, again, make sure our slot, there's our slot, make sure it's down. I'm going to put this in here, put this in here, and again, you can just test it, make sure that it's, you can see where a jig would really be helpful, because then you don't have to keep measuring. But so far that's looking really good. Put my cap on my glue so it don't dry out. Grab another nail, and I should probably go get another bigger hammer in this one. Down, slip it around one last time. This is the last time I get a chance to fix anything if it's wrong. It looks pretty square. And then the instructions on the glue say to wait 24 hours before it's at the maximum strength. Now you guys have a ton of these, so there's no reason not to just assemble them all like this first, and then come back the next day to find out, then they would have sat for 24 hours and they should be very strong. So I'm going to wipe off any extra glue on here, and this should be good and strong. And in 24 hours, it'll be not only square, but it'll be really nice to work with. Again, nails down flat. This will be good. Your hive tool will be able to go across the top of these. These nails are nice and flat, so it won't stick on them. Sometimes you even countersink them a little bit down in, but just depends how much time and energy you want. So that's one frame, and when this is dry, I'll show you how to put the wire in, and then putting this wax is going to be trivial. Well, I'll show you that in the next video.